Welcome to It Feels Like Home, the podcast where real life stories contain moments of faith. I'm Lisa Schudel, and I'm here to share stories of God moments. Whether you're listening on your morning drive, taking a walk, or folding laundry, I hope you find comfort and encouragement. Hi, and welcome to the podcast, It Feels Like Home. Today, I have a special guest, John Turek, and I'm going to let John introduce himself.
Okay, as she said, I'm John Turek. I grew up in the Chicago area, kind of on the west side, old ethnic community. Went to University of Illinois, where I met my wife, and we were married. Well, we've been married 52 years now, and we moved over to West Lafayette, Indiana, where I worked at Purdue University for 45 years, and I retired at the end in 2024, at the end of 24. I have three children. My oldest is a veterinarian. She works in Chicago. My second one, daughter, she's a creative force, and she does a freelance writing right now. She's in San Diego. And then my son is in aviation industry in management, and he lives in the Atlanta area, which is why I'm on this podcast now, because around last fall, I was thinking it's about time to maybe think about, we talked about moving to Atlanta. And so I just had the sense like, I'll just go on 55 plus and start to get information. And that's how I was connected with Lisa and why I now have a home in Kennesaw, Georgia.
Yes. So yes, I would say it was been a pleasure working with you and your wife, Rosa. Um, so you already kind of told us how we met. I think what was really cool was I recently started talking about doing this podcast, and you're actually my first guest. So thank you for that. I just mentioned it to you and you started sharing stories with me. So I was very intrigued and invited you. So I'm very excited to hear the stories that you had already shared with me, but so that other people can get the benefit of hearing those stories. But I'd like to ask you, first of all, like growing up, what was your concept of God growing up? Like, did you always know God, or at some point?
Well, as I said, I grew up in an old ethnic community on the west side of Chicago, and really was largely a Catholic community. I went to a Catholic school. Often we went to mass every day, and that was all the way up through 8th grade. But quite honestly, I never had any deep thoughts about
Just kind of
God.
was always there.